Which you have teacher here, and here is how I make an adjustable strapped apron. You're going to need your fabric of choice, taper, scissors, ruler, and well, that's it. You're going to need 1 yard of fabric. 1 yard of fabric is ideal for this. And the measurements we're using is 36 by 26 inches. So it should be 36 inches long and 26 inches wide. Now your fabric has both the front and the back side, so you're going to layer it right side facing each other and fold it in half. It will be easier for you to cut it this way. Now remember the width is 26, so when you fold it in half, all you have to do is measure 13 inches so that when you open it, it's 26, right? Fold it in half, measure 13 on the fold, and when you open it, it becomes 26 inches. So I like to measure it in more than one place, confirm that my width is 36 inches, and cut out the excess. Now, if you have difficulties telling where the front from the back of your fabric is, once you have identified the back, just use a chalk to mark out the back so you don't mix it up. Now, from the folded part that is facing you, measure 6.5 inches upwards. We're creating our neckline now. 6.5 inches upwards. Then from the other side down, that's the 36 inches, measure 10.5 inches down. And once you have that marked down, use a ruler to connect those lines together, those two lines that you drew, the 6.5 to the 10.5 inches, and then you cut it out. And we have the shape of our apron. So when you open it up, you can see which part is going to be the top that is going towards your neck side, and that is where the armhole is, and then going down. Next thing I want to do now is cut out the strap and the front pocket. I want it to have a front pocket. Remember the width is 36 inches, so I'm just going to use that to work and cut out three strips. 36 times 3 is about 118 inches. Now you can make your strap longer or shorter. 118 inches works better for me because I'm on the slim side. So you can make it longer or you can make it shorter. Just add or reduce. So I just folded the fabric like into four so it's easier to cut at once. And I marked out 3 inches in three places. 2.5 inches, my bad. 2.5 inches wide, and then I just pinned them right side facing each other. Now when you're sewing at the sewing machine, you're just going to fold it towards each other and then fold it all the way down. It should be about 6/8 of an inch wide, like almost 1 inch wide, but not quite 1 inch. Right? Remember, your 1 inch line has like a is 1 to 8, so 6/8 of it. Next up, the front pocket. Front pocket, you measure it out. I just use my tape rule to measure and then just mark and cut. And I even still had pieces left, so I didn't even finish the 1 yard of fabric. Now, same thing for the apron when you're sewing. You're just going to sew, fold it in for a clean look, all four sides, but top stitch just the top, and then you sew the other three sides on the apron. As you go ahead, you would understand. All right, so we have our front pocket. We have our main body of the bag. Before I go to the sewing machine, I'm just going to mark out where I am going to sew the front pocket to. So I'm using that line as a guide, but I think if I'm doing another one, I would come down about 1.5 inch down. Because when I wore the apron eventually, the pocket felt it was too high up, right? Personal preference. And then I marked out the middle so that when it's time to sew the pocket, I'm just going to get the middle of the pocket and align with that middle line that I have drawn. If you've watched up to this point, please like, share, and drop a comment. Come on. Thank you so much. And then I had my brand name monogrammed at a monogram shop close to me. So I'm going to be sewing that at the top of the apron as well. So we're off to the sewing machine to get this sewn. The strap, a front pocket, and my logo. Now when you get to the sewing machine, we're going to first sew the strap. So remember we have three strips joined together. So we're just going to connect the three straps together. So it's one long strip. And then remember you're going to fold in on the left fold, kind of like you're making a bias. So fold in on both sides and sew all the way down. I like to sew the top part first and flip it inside out. So I have like a clean look on the edge. Just fold it in and tuck it in and then sew. So just keep sewing and sewing and sewing. I think because I was shooting, this video took me like 45 minutes to shoot the video because I had to start adjusting and readjusting my tripod. But I think if I was just making the apron without having to adjust my camera, it won't take me like It's taking yes like 15 minutes and I'll be done with the apron, even less than 15 minutes. So this is like an easy project you can do. You can do it as a gift to give to any friend or do it for yourself. Like make one with a towel as the front pocket so that when you're cooking and you wash your hands, you can easily dry your hands there. See, I've dropped the idea for somebody out there. Anyways, I'm going to sew both sides of the strip because I want it to lay flat. So I'm just sewing the end of the other side for a clean look and then sew all the way down. And once the strip is done, we're going to go straight to the pocket. Now for the pocket, I'm going to just use a pin. Remember, you fold in for a clean look. And then I'm just going to sew the top first because that's the place that needs to be secured first. The other three sides, you're going to sew it to the apron. So I don't want like two kinds of stitches to show. That's why I'm not sewing it. Even as you can sew and then put on the apron and sew again. That's extra work. I'm trying to make life easier. So I'm just folding it in, like fold it in two, folding and folding. So it's a clean look when you look into it. And then I get the middle point. And then remember we already marked the midpoints before we left the cutting table. So I'm going to align the midpoint of my pocket to the midpoint of the apron itself. And then pin it on both sides so it doesn't move around when I am sewing. There. If you love to see more tutorials like this, like accessories and things you can make with 1 yard of fabric or less, drop a comment. I'm working on a series, but drop a comment to ginger me to make something like this happen, okay? I'm going to call it a 1 yard series. I don't know, I'll come up with a catchier name. But anyways, um, sew all sides to secure. Front pocket secured. And then I'm just sewing down, not really down the middle, like I just sewed like 1/4 of one side so that in one of the pockets I can put like my biro and things that are a bit longer so it's easy to come out. And the other side of the apron I can put like maybe a cutter and a tape pro, just things I need easy access to when I'm wearing the apron. Next thing, I'm going to sew my logo to the front as well. I just eyeballed it. I didn't really do a measurement. And eventually I realized it wasn't centralized. But you know what? It's a personal apron. I'm not selling it. I'm good with it. Anyways, apron soon trimmed. Next thing now is to make it look neat. So the top, the sides, and the bottom. Don't not the armhole. That's slant side. We're not doing that part. So you're just going to fold in one, fold in two, like that. So and do the same for the two sides. Just there, folding, folding, sew down. This other side, do the same thing, and then the hem of your apron, the bottom of the apron, do the same thing. So we're going to do that quick. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Are you done? Are you done? I'm almost done. Are you done? All right, I'm sure you're done by now. Okay, I'm done now. And that's what the stitch looks like. Next thing we're going to do now is create the opening where our strap is going to fit. I made a mistake, so thank God I didn't even sew it. So you're going to mark out 0.5 and then 2 inches. So the total of what you're measuring is 2.5 inches, right? So mark out 0.5, then mark out 2 inches. Let's do it here because that other parts are like two different lines. So 0.5, you can use a ruler to connect if you want to be very sure. And then from that 0.5 line down, mark out 2 inches. And all you have to do back on the sewing machine is fold in by that 0.5 first, then let that line align with the 2 inches mark that you drew, and then sew it. So do that to both sides. And just like that, we are 99.9% done with the apron because the only thing left to do now is to fix the strap. I used a loop turner, this tall, long, skinny strap metal thingy. You can use a safety pin or a bobby pin, but I use the loop turner. So you just pass the rope from the bottom of one armhole to the neck, and then from the neck down to the second armhole as well. And that's it. It is that easy to make an adjustable strap apron. So see, if I want the neckline to go up a bit, all I need to do is adjust it right there, and then take the strap around my waist, and we're good to go. Did you enjoy it? If you did, please like, share, and comment. Thank you for watching. Bye.